What is good, everyone? Got another good video for you today. Before we, of course, get started, as I have been doing as of recently, thanking every single one of you that have become a customer of Reproverse and our comics. Look, man, look at that number, man. 2.78, over 30,000, 31,000 total purchases. Look, man, this has been, as I keep saying, success beyond my wildest imaginations. And I thank you all so much for the continued support. It keeps having its waves where it will go up out of nowhere because more people are, of course, discovering it. People are, different financial situations. They are waiting. I will say this, as of me recording this video, we don't have that many. We got around 2,000, under 2,000 now available cover A's and under 4,000 available cover B's. On Wednesday, the 20th of July, we are cutting off all signed copies. I cannot keep signing these books, man. So we have to cut them off for all copies A, B, and C. But again, when cover A and B actually sells out, signed or unsigned, cover C, of course, will be available throughout the entire duration of the campaign. So you'll be good there. Also, Reproverse hats finally went live. A lot of people asked about that. You can get those now. The hats are officially live. And also we have the much requested Yaira shirt, black shirt. You can go grab that as well if you certainly want in on that. So thank you guys so much for the support and everybody that got in on this. I am going to, though, talk about this, what you are watching, guys. His folks and their little bad arguments be dismantled in real time, and they are flailing. There's been, we covered in a previous video, a little passive-aggressive kind of hit piece, done by one of the more mainstream comic book folk. And it consists of a bunch of stuff that we've already seen other folks say. I have to give you guys a trip down sort of memory lane, but also explaining to those who have just now discovered us because of the Reproverse information what has been happening. Now, I've been a commentator in this space for years now, and this is something that I have spoke about in the problems that have plagued the American comic book industry, particularly with the content. And folks have, unfortunately, because they want to be so protective of these companies, have demonized those that have expressed any type of gripe with the mainstream comic stuff. It's not just with comics, however. This is something that has bled into other and various entertainment properties. Entertainment in general right now is kind of in the tank, American entertainment, that is. And, people have kind of grown bored of it and they don't like the route that it's going. And because these people never really had a defense or never had a counter argument to the arguments that folks like myself had, I talked about tokenization and other various things that have happened in the comic book space. They wrote us off as racist, misogynistic, sexist, homophobic, and other various buzz terms. Some of those arguments had been diffused just with the mere existence of the Reproverse. And that was not even intentional, really, to be honest. It was more of, I knew this was going to happen. I don't want to act like I was going to be oblivious to it, but I just wanted to write good material, and that wherever my pen led me, that's where it led me. And yeah, the result of that is it coming out, it's seeing the success that it saw and the enthusiasm that it saw with the initial pre-order campaign, but also the weirdos who kept moving the goalposts. Hey, it was never going to come out. It was, he never could do it. Why would he do this? He has no experience. And then millions of dollars later, they're trying to move the goalposts somewhere else. And one of those has been consisting of this idea of, well, we don't have anything left. They've diffused all of our other arguments. He's actually going to put it out. It's finished. The shipping starts on the latter half, going into September, late August. What else do we have? Well, we have to go back to the old faithful. So now the spin and the slant, which we anticipated, as you kind of picked up in some of that article that was wrote about it, and that is weirdos who insist that, well, okay, there's a character that looks like this, and therefore it has to be woke. Now, you might, if you, again, the trip down memory lane, if you are not familiar with this kind of commentary or what's happened over the years, they wrote everybody off with those particular terms of whatever, because when folks on, let's say, our side of the aisle, whatever you want to call it, deem something as woke, there was a specific thing that they were referencing. It was generally beating your audience over the head with some sort of social issues. It was not the mere existence of a black person or anything like that. But they wrote you off as that, and they still need that stuff to be true. So you have weirdos and reply guys that have said stuff like this. He scammed a bunch of idiots with money, claiming his comic was non-woke, which that has not been the actual thing. That has been what I've been leading with, certainly. It's just been making good material. And yeah, if other people have deemed it that way, yeah, whatever. But that's not like in the trailer or the promotional material that we put out. That's not been what this has been. And then he says this, but good luck convincing all these people about non-woke with a black main hero at all. We'll just have to see. Idiot. So it's a coping mechanism. It's like, well, I've deemed all of these people as racist and all this stuff, and now there's this character that is of this race in this book, and people are enthusiastic about it. So they must be tricked. Like, no, fool, you were just wrong the entire time. That's what you have to concede, my man. And all you other weirdos and reply guys, that's what you have to now concede. You were just wrong. The arguments that a lot of, I know it, I can speak for myself, where they were very precise. Obviously, I had never expressed any sort of issue with a character being X race, like mere existence. No, it was more of the tokenization and stuff that I had a problem with, the race swaps and all of that. That was all. Then, all my videos expressed that. So now they're watching their political enemies, people that they deem as their political enemies, go and support this. So they're like, oh, they must be getting swindled. No, it's pretty fair. It's pretty obvious. But the disingenuous stuff, that's the part that gets me. Well, they get to say, well, we're going to say that woke means something that it doesn't mean. And therefore, they're actually supporting something that's woke because this comic is woke because of the existence of a black character. And yeah, that's very insulting. Nonetheless, to think that the mere existence of a black person means woke. You wanted it to mean that because, hey, someone had an issue with a character that happened to be black, and they would detail out what the issues actually were, and you just wrote it off saying, well, they just don't like it because it's black. Same thing goes to female. Well, there's this female character that people had issues with, including other females, and you say, well, they just don't like it because they're sexist, they just misogynistic or whatever. They're watching their arguments be diffused in real time, and they don't know what to do. So they're going back to the "O ye faithful," but it doesn't work. We don't answer to these weirdos, but also it's just the mere existence of it proves the ideas to the contrary of what they had, the ideas that they had about us. You're going to have to get over that, bro. You see, this is what it's about. I love the theories, videos, and everybody's coming out with the fan art and all that. Everybody has their guesses, and, we're kind of building our parallel economy where this is the sandbox that exists over here, as Razor Fist talked about. And, okay, y'all can have that. Y'all have taken it over. Y'all have infiltrated all of that. You ruined beloved characters. Fine. We're going to build our own thing, and people are already starting to participate in the fandom that is associated with that. And they don't like it. They are in opposition to that because the fun for them was having their political enemies express discontent, and the ones that control it now, are very appreciative or supportive of the, let's say, social justice left and social justice leftism. And so they got off on the idea that people were upset with it because of who it was irritating. So now we've built our own thing here, and now they're like, wait a minute, you can't do that. Oh, you must be getting swindled. And they keep moving the post. It's funny watching these YouTubers and reply guys who have spent all this time talking about how toxic fandoms were, and they've now done several videos about me. It's funny how that works, doesn't it? But I encourage it. Go ahead, go right ahead. Can't wait to get this stuff out to the customers. And as we continue to build without you, you have to sit up there and actually concede at some point, whether you do it or not. It is the truth, and that is we were right all along. And maybe your arguments were terrible, and what you thought about people as you labeled them as these egregious things were false information that you were tricking yourself to believe, because you needed us to be that boogeyman. You needed the folks to be misogynistic, racist, and all that, because that was the only fallback that you had. So you needed us to be that evil boogeyman. Your arguments didn't work unless that was the case. And what this is an example of, well, your arguments were bad and they were wrongful. And I am not going to be the last one. I'm not the first one. You're going to have to get over it.